13. No. Slowing things down. Managing to split the mats. Seems to be okay.
Oh, Mariah is actually just taking food from every pile. Took out Jack. Took out some more EU boys, but as a result, Lanouf goes down. They're kind of just in a frenzy over in whatever box they're in. A lot of people going down towards the south side, it looks like, of the map so far. 40 different players left, 23 duos, so a lot of placements still to be handed out. Kiko and Thunder have a lot of time to make up to get there.
Yeah, playing a really nice low ground layer through first. This is something we want to see for these teams with high eliminations. But Benji Fishy manages to grab the wall, the cone in, but Slender manages to come up and back him up. Kiko manages to get out of the box. They're in a good situation here. Beautiful piece control by Benji on low ground. That's kind of what we want to see, but again, it didn't necessarily benefit either of the teams here. Both are cut up, both with no shield remaining around. Slender goes down on low ground. He manages to get out from Kiko, but again, he's not going to be able to get the refresh, the revive at all. No shield in his inventory while the zone starts pulling back to the west. This is going to be tough for Kiko.
Benji on his right, Stormy on his left. He looks up for some hope, for some light, and it's 4ZR casting a shadow right in front of his box. There's nowhere for Kiko to go. He's going to be forced to just med kit up, make sure he has all the HP possible to end up making the first move after the fact. Here we go to see if he can keep that first place dream alive. How many points can this man get to make sure his team stays all the way up top? It's him and Slender can have such a big lead still held on to if he gets a lot of free placement here. Staying on the backside, taking zone damage. He's still trying to move through it. Different people going down in front of him, and a big bump from the backside as Floki takes him out.
Yeah, it's Floki and out. I think on high ground right now, we're actually seeing Hen's team, who didn't perform that well in the first game, but that's another huge performance from them. But back to Floki and Dissident, who just managed to pick up Kiko in there that last game. Him also left alive as a solo because Deceptos is also eliminated this game. So he's trying to break his way through these old builds, trying to get as far ahead as possible, but he's got barely any materials. The OP cabbages, as I like to often reference them, managing to keep him alive going through the zone, breaking through the old builds, seeing what we can do, but gets damage from a shot off, blocks his back, potentially goes for a nice piece control. Goes for it again.
He's going for it. Man, meanwhile, when he's doing this, 4ZR is just taking out everyone in front of him. He took down Benji, Savage, takes away Slove, one other person as well, and he's still alive the entire time. Seti and Teaker pop, and Floki finally gets a little bit of action all the way down on low. He's invading boxes, but it's not enough. He gets stopped in his tracks. I don't even see a high ground team, really. Okay, they're on a different screen the entire time. Someone comes waterfalling down. Teaker and Seti still alive. I've seen them switch like 17 layers now. They've switched more layers than people play in entire tournaments. As a result, though, Teak is out of mats. He still has the firepower to shoot. Seti goes down. This should be the end of the run here, all the way towards the very end. Finds a little bit of a morsel down below, but now with just 12 HP, it'll just be one shot that defines him. No, it's 4ZR still alive, doing all of this as a solo player. I'm not even sure if there's any duos still left in the competition. 4ZR with a big shot. It's traded out as well, and now it's a 3-team situation, down to 2.
Down to 2. Now this is a 2v1 situation. Jetski on the low ground. Super Key up on high ground, applying that pressure, but Jetski drops him down, goes to the piece control. He actually has the purple one. He might be able to do this again. Hits a big 160 shot, he knocks, but it's all over. Jetski, who's a huge performance there, but it goes to Super Key. Valuable material for endgame, so this is going to be already tough in a difficult situation, but still 91 builds in a relatively good spot in the zone. I'm not too sure their verticality and which layer they're on, but it seems like they're relatively close to that zone, so it shouldn't be too bad of a rotate to go. But Tayson managing to be picked up all those materials, but they do have the peppers, which makes it so much easier to rotate through. But as I say that, they get beamed on rotate, but they're trying to get as far ahead of zone as possible. You can see another team there trying to actually claim the high ground, but Tayson and Thomas know they need the big game. They have the peppers pop, they're going for height, and they've managed to claim it over Flicker and Nas, who have not allowed them to kind of get too far ahead. And at this point, it seems like they have claimed that high ground going into the first moving zone.
Still might want Flick and Nas. Keep an eye on them real quick. They're going to be mirroring and maybe be second, third height under these guys, looking for a chance to kind of usurp them. It is going to be Thomas versus Flick and Nas in that kind of scenario. At the same time, Tayson all the way up front, taking big shots. Diablo still having trouble on defense from these bullets. He's going to stay way ahead of zone, looking for everyone down below. Pay attention to that Elam feed as well. There's some crucial things happening on low ground. Jim going down, a big kick from Flick all the way on the backside. Thomas also active on that side as well. Flick and Diablo are really taking the brunt force of this pressure. It's the only duo available to shoot from Tayson, and he's not stopping.
Yeah, and it seems like Thomas HD spraying on every single one of his Gamma Org mates down below him, but they seem to be strong enough to keep themselves moving in second height. But people who are not looking so strong on low ground right now, Benji, Fist, and Savage, both on low shields, low materials. So this is the kind of moments where these guys shine, though. The ability to pop off with low mats is so prevalent in this team, and they're doing a great job of just getting ahead on low ground, a playstyle that we really want to be seeing a lot from Benchfish more in the trios, but they're performing it right here in duos as well. Getting split mats, 11 each. This is definitely a time when they need to make a big play.
Absolutely. Steady though going down as he's trying to make big plays. We saw Nas also get taken away, so it might just be up to Flick right now. At the same time, Thomas and Tayson are looking very, very healthy on height, and no one is close by just yet to take them out. Trulex and Queasy are chopping down below, looking for a way to try to survive and thrive all the way up top. Benji and Savage though are still alive all the way on low. Dual storm damage taking at the same time. Is that Trulex on the backside? It was. Lanouf takes down both Trulex and Queasy, who look to be out of materials. But it's the same story for Benji and Savage, who now go on their own ways, both playing as solo players. This is going to get tough.
Yeah,
so many different builds.
Oh, Savage is picked up by 4ZR as well right there. So it's Benji now left alive at the back of zone. So many players just in this zone, in this area. And Benjifish is crouching around, doing anything he can, being so careful. Not even double pickaxe swinging in case someone's right there next to his wall. He sees Flecken, he hits the big shot, but no, he's traded back in return by Flecken. And Flecken is also picked up as well.
That was huge. 4ZR though is still alive, active as a solo, and has taken out 3 different teams. Meanwhile, up top, Tayson's gone down. It's all of the Thomas. They've been alive for so long on height. No harpoons, no materials. That's why they're vulnerable. Who will try to overtake them? It's actually 4-0 operating with Kha'Zix. They actually have the full duo, and they're alive. Wakey and Kinzel right below them. They're getting all the eliminations so far. But Lanouf and Marine are also popping off. There goes 4-0 with a big take, but a 2-pump from Thomas, and 3! This man is insane. Make it an even 4, please. A missed jump from one side, but Pyramids are here to overtake. It's not going to be possible for him to be the Pharaoh today. Kha'Zix takes him down, but he's left down as a solo now. Lanouf and Marine, they're having a phenomenal game, and they're looking to win it completely as well.
That could have been the victory morale in their hands for Kha'Zix and 4ZR there, but unfortunately Thomas HD shook them up. But Kinzel and Wakey, a team who've been popping off on low ground this game with 5 eliminations total, are now claiming it. Double harpoon, the classic strategy. If you've watched any of these guys, you know this is what they're about. But Jack picked up on low ground 2 for another elimination, so 6. So at this point, I think it is a 2v2. The players on high ground versus the players on low ground. Kinzel and Wakey against Lanouf and Marine on the height. Both these players gaining valuable points, but Kinzel going around for a shot down below, trying to harpoon, be the distraction, cause some white damage, but no, backing back down. Marine and Aloof on height, applying pressure, but Wakey goes down. He's picked up this a 1v2 situation, but Kinzel's holding them in zone. He gets the refresh from that as well. Kinzel trying to make big shots come out. He picks up Marine, but no, he is picked up by Lanouf, and your Victory Royale winner is...
Who's going to be the duo to sort of take the lobby by storm, really try and force the issue? Oh, Tayson now picking up Lanouf, who was obviously the elimination leader from last game and the actual winners. And so that's going to be huge for Thomas and Tayson. This is going to be a massive boost for them in the standings. And we've taken out that duo. That's going to be a chance for people to catch up. And you can see now the Peppers popped, looking to get their way in. Tayson stops in his tracks for just that moment, but will be able to continue along. And with so much surge, they don't even have to worry about it whatsoever, so they can just focus on the rotation. You can see he's getting up to the front side of the zone, looking at height, looking to see if there's a chink in the armor. But Toos and Stormy right have it locked down.
Locked down, absolutely. But that refresh going to first zone from Tayson and Thomas is absolutely huge. They don't have to risk anything right now. They can just use those peppers to continue rotating. But meanwhile, Hen playing it as a solo as Chapless has gone down, finding a nice little pile of loot there that he's going to be able to fish up with this harpoon, but gonna look for some tarps that he can use, kind of recycle the opponent's builds here so he doesn't have to use his materials, has a good position getting into zone, and also might even be able to find an elimination here on a duo that is not looking out for him. But be careful, the zone is pulling back, so he's in a great position here. Can play it slow. He's gonna do a little sneaky play, 11. Maybe if they decide to come back through this tarp, this could be a huge play by Hen.
Here, and you can see Degen and Ages, the winners from yesterday's NA competition. It seems like they had a bit of a read on it maybe, because they completely avoid him walking past. And so now you just see how things are sort of playing out. Hen all alone in this one, with not much work to work with. And you can see he's been caught in the backside of the zone. And this is where you never want to be as a solo. It can just be so difficult. He's able to sneak his way out. And like a rat, he will just scurry down below, looking to just stay alive, you know, sort of accumulate any sort of placement points he can. And if he can get the off-hill medkit here, that's going to be huge. If the timing right, it doesn't seem so, and he knows it as well, so he will stop.
Not able to get the medkit, but we still do have the same duo on high ground. They've been doing a good job maintaining it. I also saw that Tayson and Thomas are alive. So they've been doing a good job of using those materials. Not sure if they've been able to pick up eliminations, but for now, they're doing a great job. Shuzi, seeing if he can pop a medkit here before the zone starts taking him. Gonna wait a little bit here, get the medkit off, and get back into the storm here. But be careful. 260 materials to work with, all wood, no hard mats, but it gets in, manages to get a few tags, get a knock, but it's not enough to get the elimination. Now Paco looking to see if he can find another angle into the zone. Levin is coming to the last moments.
You can see Paco really struggling here with Cammy being taken out of the game, with the high ground team really forcing the issue, taking him out. Floki now is going to be left alone in a 1v2, and we've seen multiple 1v2s over the course of the past 2 days of Dreamhack, but with Toos looking the way he's looking, you know, he has no intention of letting this be a highlight moment. He wants to take the game, and it seems like they will. Floki has no chance whatsoever below, no materials left and no HP. He's going to be out. That's going to be the victory royale. You know, they're on their toes, really looking for any opportunity possible. And now with the zone beginning to move, they're going to rotate their way in. You can see SLQ and Slovy here postured up well, potentially for height moving forward. Also, Benji and Mr. Savage doing much of the same. And Benji and Savage haven't necessarily been huge players in the games we've watched thus far. And so if there's, you know, a scenario in which they're playing from height, that could be really nice in terms of seeing them get back into the fray. Floki and the Siptos now, who have been one of the more consistent teams over the course of today, they're looking to force their way in. Floki being forced to spend the materials necessary to secure their safety. And with the Siptos being so low, they can't afford to be lobby sprayed here. Shots coming through. Eventually, they will subside, sorry, and give them that sort of time to heal up here. But where first moving pools now is going to be crucial.
Oh,
And Southwest doesn't make their lives any much easier. But in terms of the battle for high ground, you can see Benji built way on up here. Savage looking to sort of build their way in towards height and stop Cammy and Paco from taking it. And Cammy, someone who's seen play for height a lot this season, especially where they had the dub available to them. But now in duos with Paco, pulling first move and looking to try take it for themselves. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens on height moving forward. But even beyond that, right, in terms of this team, the team that's looking to take first place for themselves, 800 above, they've got nothing to worry about, sorry, in terms of surge. They're just going to be able to run their way in.
meanwhile though, Benji and Savage, they're still battling Hideoff. Benji right now is at, I believe, 96 points, which puts his duo in 26th place. So they need this game if they want to have the opportunity to come out on top in the last game. But they got to be careful. They are battling high ground right now, and it's nobody's. I mean, they're in a risky situation here, seeing that the zone's going to continue pulling. And if another duo decides to try and build up while they're taking that battle, it's not going to end too well. But just like you said, Kezix, 4ZR, they have a huge opportunity to get an amazing game here and just dominate the lead on the leaderboard. But Toos right now looking for some angles here. He does have one elimination, but only 65 materials, and it's all wood. He does have his duo though, Stormy, alive, healthy, ready to get into the action here, managing to harpoon a bit of loot as well. And we can see that the high ground is pretty high up. I'm not sure if I saw a team up top, but 4ZR, 280 points, 3 eliminations. Kezix is down though, playing it as a solo. Levin, will he be able to clutch this up?
Yeah, 4ZR actually took down Benji and Savage. A pair of goats going down at the hands of 4ZR. And even though he's just a sole player left alone, he still does pack a big punch. And so it's going to be up to him now to try and push themselves further ahead in the standings. Superkey and Shuzi nowhere in sight, nowhere to sort of defend themselves and defend their throne at the top. And so 4ZR will just sort of crawl through these old builds here. So much action going down in the feed. So many of these top 10 teams looking to still try and eclipse their previous games. And so with 4ZR just left as a solo, it's going to be really difficult for him to really maybe force eliminations here. Just going to try and stay alive. And you can see that rotation is just a work of art. Making his way all the way down to low ground and even looking to pick off some solos himself. Significant damage being dealt there. The piece control coming through as well. Look at this man. He picks up that elimination. It's like he's playing in creative. He's going to keep on going as well. Nothing's going to stop him. And you can see on the left, Legion and Aegis, the NA duo, The winners of Dreamhack NA yesterday taking height for themselves. They're looking to try and create some damage across the pond. And Stephanie's setting up to do so, but with Forziar, the Frenchman, he's already shown us what he can do. And he's looking to show off just that bit more. You can see not many builds are now completely running out here. And he's just waiting for that perfect shot, that perfect opportunity arises, but he's not able to capitalize. He will go down.
Be careful though. Thomas HD on the high ground, securing a great position here, trying to get some shots off. Down below, he is playing it as a solo, as I don't see Tayson alive. That is 3 duos, 4 players alive, but Nako, 3 eliminations, 4 eliminations on his duo Don. They're doing a great job here in this 5th game, but will they be able to secure it? 1v2 right now. Thomas has the high ground, connects the shot on Don, doesn't eliminate him, but cracks him. One more shot to get it, takes out Nako. Now it's a 1v1, but Dan manages to secure that elimination on Thomas HD. What a close. They did get the zone, Levin. This could be a good game. However, I'm still not sure how I feel about the loop, but I mean, meanwhile, look at this. Thomas, HD, and Tayson making the rotate here with the Peppers. Be careful though, because they do have eyes on them. Not losing a lot of shield though. I feel like they can do this pretty cleanly here. They have a nice path. They just got to be careful on which builds they go close to, but it looks like they've done it pretty cleanly. Seems like they're playing the low ground here, so they don't want to go up too high. This could get a little dangerous though if a lot of teams start rotating down here low. We already see Cammy scram. There's just battles going on. Meanwhile, these players are trying to rotate, try to get to that half and half zone before the moving ones commence.
You can see, we're in the sort of dying moments of the tournament. Things are sort of going to be coming to a close rather soon, but there are still large stakes up for grabs. You can see here, we're tuned into the POV of Kezix and Forziar. They came into this game in first place, and with how things have sort of played out, with the 2 eliminations they've got, they certainly will be in first place still. And looking to add to that tally, picking up Pink. Pink and 7 Josh hasn't been necessarily the best day for them. And so now Kezix will carry Pink to safety, secure the elimination, and those mats will go a long way in helping them traverse through this first moving zone and helping them to seal the deal and keep first place for themselves.
I mean, this could be it, Levin. That elimination that they just got before first moving is just the place you want to get it. You get those mats, you have enough now to rotate freely through maybe even 1, 2, close to 3 moving zones with that refresh, depending on how they play it. But now, are they able to hold that lead? Eliminations are rewarded so heavily in this format. 6 points per elimination, and they're doing a great job of getting those. But look at the high ground, Levin. Tayson on the high ground right now, tarpeting it out. Will they be able to hold it though? That is the question. Getting knocked down. This is getting a little risky, using a bit of mats here, and it seems that other players want that high ground.
The typical sort of pepper height take you'd expect to see from a team like Tayson and Thomas. But the question is Forziar and Kezix going to be able to stay up just long enough to be able to deny Tayson and Thomas the opportunity to win this one out? Forziar has actually gone down incredibly low, and Kezix is out of the game completely, so it's going to be up to Forziar once again to clutch up. This is actually huge. If Forziar isn't able to stay alive for much longer, then this is definitely Tayson and Thomas's for the taking. You can see Forziar struggling. There's a player in his box. He's got to be careful. He's running up behind Quinton, but he's got to be careful the person running up behind him. He's in Quinton's box now. He hits the crucial shots. He gets the knock. The finish is going to be huge. Forziar's able to stay alive for just that bit longer. The floppers will keep him in as well. I can't believe he's actually got that elimination, Tocata. This is massive.
That was absolutely huge, Levin. Look at his materials as well. He has almost 1,000 materials to work with here. Forziar has to do it, though, because the opposing duos on high ground, Tayson and Thomas, they're the number 2 team. But no, Forziar goes down. I wasn't able to see how many points he had, but now it's the 2nd place team. They're battling it out to see if they can come out on top, get the victory royale, and pass Kezix and Forziar in points if they're able to win this game. So they have to get the victory royale. Levin applying pressure from above, trying to secure eliminations. They're rewarded so heavily in this format, but Zone pulls back. Now these players are gonna have to figure out how they're gonna rotate this. Meanwhile, just Tayson and Thomas applying so much pressure. Levin, this could be their game.
Forziar went down with 355 points to Tocata. And so from up above, Tayson and Thomas will need to close that gap with a couple eliminations. You can see them continuing to apply pressure. You can see all the players falling towards the front side of the low ground. Miro down below on very low HP. So many people in shambles here, and with 329 points, they're looking to continue to close that gap. The winners from last game, Heretics, Nako, he's still in this one. Kinzo and Wakey will remain in the lobby as well, but it's all about Tayson and Thomas. They're trying to close that gap. They need these eliminations. They need the victory royale if they want any hope of being the victors for today.
Absolutely, Levin. I mean, they need those eliminations, just like you said. Just the victory royale is not enough to take first place. They have to get some eliminations here. They have to drop down, look for some angles, because if they're unable to get that, I don't know if it's going to be enough points to pass 4ZR, who has 355 right now, currently in the first place. They're going to have to make something happen here. Now, 2 teams alive, 4 players. We're in a 2v2 situation, the classic high ground versus low ground. It's all up to who is going to be able to get this victory royale. Can we do some quick maths, Levin? Is this enough? If they win this, will they win the tournament?
It's going to be difficult. I don't know if it's going to be enough, Tocata. It does seem at this stage that 4ZR and Kezix were able to hold on to it, but you can see Wakey now getting into the face of Tayson. Tayson now has to hit these crucial shots. They hit one, but Tayson will go down. And so all of a sudden, it's Kinzel versus Thomas in a 1v1. And Thomas can't afford to have a howler here. He needs to hit the crucial shots. No materials left. And his HP is going to be slowly ticking down. Kinzel will look to hit the right shots. And Tayson and Thomas will pick up the victory out on the game.
At the end of the EU finals. Oh, 2 points. There it is.
I can't believe it.
Kezix and 4ZR managed to secure the throne, secure that top 1 placement, and it was all because of that elimination at the end. If 4ZR didn't secure that elimination, they'd be 6 points below, and Tayson and Thomas would be at the top right now. That just shows how important each elimination is. They just won Dreamhack EU finals because of that last elimination. That is crazy.